KURINJI Senior Secondary School, CBSE, Namakkal.
Successful result producing school in state every year.
Administered by the Board of Directors with over 35 years of experience in the teaching field.
Special attention on art, craft, music, dance, silambam, yoga, skating and karate.
Focus on Hindi Sabha and Spell Bee Olympiad exams.
Smart class for effective and innovative learning and well-furnished library.
Solitary importance on sports and games in state and national level.
WhatsApp facilities to know activities of students and school inside the campus.
Free bus for LKG to 8th standard.
Free, hygienic and nutritious food.
NEET, JEE, IIT coaching experts from Rajasthan and Andhra Pradesh along with our effective teachers.
Admission registration for classes LKG to +2.
KURINJI Education Institution, Kavetipatti, Namakkal. Admission in progress. CBSE, KG to 12, contact 9025895176. Metric 6 to 12, contact 9344567484. For online admission, log on to www.kurinjischoolnkl.in.
Hi students, now in this video we are going to discuss regarding third component of ecosystem. Third component of ecosystem is nothing but energy flow. So in this energy flow, how this particular energy which is trapped by the producers, how it will move from the one tropical level to another tropical level, let us see now. Come, let us have a look on these ones. Students, now energy flow, third component of ecosystem. So in previous video, so what is the table now I have given now? That table already I have given, but corner I have given now, that's why initially now I have taken that table. Let me explain that once. Now incident solar radiation 100% let us take. So incident solar radiation 100% there, 50% of incident solar light is utilized or it is involved in the photosynthesis. That's why here the power light we are taking how much? 50%. Means here power means photosynthetically active radiation. Means here 50% of light is active, photosynthetically active radiation. So here the 50% of light is active for the process of photosynthesis, but here capturing point of view. So how much percentage of power light captured in the process of photosynthesis? Just 2 to 10% of power light. Means here availability is 50% is there, but plants absorbs or they captures this power light just 2 to 10%. My point you understood or not? Next one. So here by utilizing of 2 to 10% of photosynthetically active radiation light, now which one is going to be prepared by the process of photosynthesis? GPP formation takes place. That is only no. So I asked to remember total organic matter or the biomass is produced by the process of autotrophs. That point we see now. So there. So GPP, for the formation of GPP, how much percentage of power light is involved? Just 1 to 5% of power light is involved in making of GPP. Later, after formation of GPP, now after completion of losses in respiration, losses or the loss in respiration, remaining amount of organic matter or remaining which one biomass we can be taken as net primary productivity. Simply we can be taken as NPP. Means GPP minus R. GPP minus R, that gives the information of NPP. So this particular information yesterday also I have given, but I would like to explain by one more time. That's why I have given now. So right side once you see there, sir, incident solar radiation we have taken 100%, but photosynthetically active radiation 50% only we have taken now. Remaining 50% where it is, sir, means once you see there. So here absorbed by the gases as well as water vapors, and one more reflected by the clouds. So means absorbed by the gases and water vapors and reflected by the clouds together 50% of solar radiation. So that goes there. Next one, 50% photosynthetically active radiation there captured by the plants is just 2 to 10%, and food materials of formation point of view just 1 to 5% of incident light is involved. Later GPP minus R we will study the information of NPP. So that is a small information. So Right. Now today's information point of view under energy flow. This particular information also comes under energy flow only, right? So don't forget. So right. Now new plants or the green plants. Now we see there. Green plants, photosynthetic or chemosynthetic bacteria. So green plants and photosynthetic organisms as well as chemosynthetic bacterial members. Chemosynthetic as well as photosynthetic bacterial members. So we can be taken as producers, autotrophs. So here the green plants as well as photosynthetic means green plants means definitely having the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis. So thereby photosynthetic plants we will call. So green plants only. Likewise chemosynthetic bacteria means our knowledge point of view. So here some kind of a bacteria has the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis. So there. So here chemosynthetic bacterial members as well as photosynthetic bacterial members and green plants all together. So we can be taken as how producers or autotrophs. So what they will do, sir, means these producers or autotrophs traps this solar energy. Traps the solar energy and convert it into chemical form from simple inorganic materials to organic matter. So here as we seen before, so here producers or autotrophs, so there green plants are there or as well as bacteria members also are there. So here what are the organisms? What are the organisms has the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis? So such kind of organisms, so simply we will be calling as producers or autotrophs. Producers or autotrophs means what are the organisms has the capability to perform the process of photosynthesis. So those organisms simply we will be considering as producers or autotrophs. Sir, these producers or autotrophs, what they would do, sir, generally means once you see these autotrophs as well as producers trap the solar energy or trap this solar energy and convert it into chemical form. Chemical form there, organic matter we can be taken. Okay, chemical form. So from where? Simple inorganic materials. So means in this particular case, simple inorganic materials so comes together and involves in the formation of one chemical compound or chemical form. So that is the point we are observing. So now this chemical form of energy. So now this chemical form of energy flows from, so this point is important once you will see there. So once the chemical form formation takes place by the involvement of producers, so when this particular chemical form of energy is produced, that will not be present in that particular plants only. So that flows from one tropical level to another tropical level. Once means in plants definitely organic matter is synthesized or produced. So when that particular organic matter is synthesized with the help of inorganic materials, so that particular chemical form will not be stable. Will not be stable only in that particular plant materials. So that will be flows from one tropical level to another tropical level. So this point means thereby what is the point here we are understanding? Energy. What is the energy is produced by the producers or the autotrophs will not be present at one place. Definitely that flows from one tropical level to another tropical level. Next one. Now organisms at each tropical level. Organisms at each tropical level depends on those at the lower tropical levels for their energy demands. This point is important. So thereby, so here what is the point? Once you see there, what are the organisms are present at the each tropical level? Each tropical level depends on those at the lower tropical levels for their energy demands. So suppose here, so there are different types of tropical levels. So suppose first tropical level, second tropical level, third tropical level, and likewise fourth tropical levels are there means. So don't forget one point now. In first tropical level, so in a first tropical level or the first tropical level occupied by the producers. So thereby our knowledge point of view, what is information now we seen? Definitely energy flows flow that will be from the primary producers. or from the producers to next levels, isn't it? So these producers only we are calling as a plants or autotrophs we are calling, means definitely when these plants are present at the lower tropical level, definitely energy flows from the lower tropical level to another tropical levels only, so thereby here what is the point? So organisms at each tropical levels depends on those at the lower tropical level for their energy demands. So definitely, so each and every level of or each and every tropical level of organisms definitely depends on its lower tropical level, means what are the organisms are present in its lower tropical level, so from there they will consume or they will take the energy. I hope you understood this one. Next one, the amount of energy decreases at every successive level. So means here the transport or the transfer of energy starts at the first tropical level. So from the first tropical level, energy, very small amount of the energy, means according to Lindemann 10% of energy. So that point already I have given. So according to the Lindemann, so 10% of energy that moves from the producers to primary consumers, from the primary consumers to secondary consumers also 10%, again from the secondary consumers to tertiary consumers also again 10%, means here once you see there, when the energy levels are moving from the one tropical level to another tropical levels, so when compared to the producers in remaining tropical levels, so definitely energy or the amount of energy is decreases. Why? Because so more amount of energy we can see in producers, but when we are moving into the next tropical levels and the next tropical levels, the percentage or the amount of energy is decreases. So that is a point here we have learned. This point also you try to save in your mind, examinations point of view important. Now the study of energy, the study of energy transfer between two tropical levels is known as bioenergetics. Bioenergetics is nothing but the study of energy. What is the energy is transferring from the one tropical level to another tropical level. The study of energy only we will be considering as bioenergetics. This point important only, once just to save in your mind. Bioenergetics is nothing but energy transfer, the study of energy transfer between the two tropical levels is referred as bioenergetics. Now let us move on to the important concept. Now the green plants in the ecosystem are known as producers. So what are the green plants we are observing? Green plants in the ecosystem we will be calling as producers. Okay. So next one, in a terrestrial ecosystem, major producers are herbaceous and woody plants. So herbaceous plants are there as well as woody plants also are there. So these are all major producers on land ecosystem. Land ecosystem only our subject point of view we will call it as terrestrial ecosystem. Don't forget okay. On terrestrial ecosystem, major producers are herbaceous and woody plants. Herbaceous plants and woody plants are contributing major portion in a terrestrial ecosystem. Likewise, sir, if you take a terrestrial ecosystem, now there major producers herbaceous plants and woody plants we have taken. Suppose if you take an aquatic ecosystem, likewise the producers in an aquatic ecosystem are various species. So there are different type of species are there, phytoplanktons, algal members and some higher plants. Higher plants means again angiosperms we can be taken. So means phytoplanktons we can see, algal members we can see, and some aquatic higher plants also we can observe in aquatic ecosystem. In a terrestrial ecosystem only herbaceous plants as well as woody plants also only we have seen. But in aquatic ecosystem, once you see exactly spotlight I have given aquatic ecosystem, what are the kinds of species we can see? Various types of species we can see. So there phytoplanktons we can see. We can consider these phytoplanktons and algal members and all higher plants. So definitely major higher plants also so present in a aquatic ecosystem. Now the food chains food web that starting from the plants or the producers. So suppose if you take which one, any kind of a food chain or a food web. So anyone you can take food chains or a food web that starting from the plants. So whatever may be that, definitely that must start from the plants or the producers. Now animals feed on the plants or another animal, and in turn is a food for the another animal. So means here what is a thing now I have written, one animal is there that feeds on the plants, and this particular what is the animal eats the plants or the producers. This particular animal is acting or it is food for the another animal. A point you understood or not? Means so thereby one animal is there that is coming towards the plant and it will eat and go, but what is the animal eaten the particular plant or the producer? That particular animal is serving, or it is a food. It is a food for another animal. So that is only I have written. Once you see there, animals feed on the plant or another animal, and in turn is a food for the another animal. So means here definitely food chain means here one animal is there that eats the another animal, so that one eaten by the another animal. Likewise, so food chain and food web will be created. So thereby one important interesting point I have written on the board. Once you see there, the food chain or a food web is formed because of the interdependency. You see that? So because of this interdependency, means here each and every organism must depend on the another organism for the energy demands. A point you understood or not? Means here why? Because in the entire ecosystem only preparation of food materials capability is there only in producers. Except producers, what are the remaining organisms are there? No, all these living organisms must depends on the another organisms simultaneously. So thereby what is the thing? All organisms, so they are all interdependent on each other. So thereby which one formation takes place? Food chain or food web formation takes place. Point you understood or not? Now no energy is trapped in an organism remains it forever. Means here what is the thing? Suppose if the energy is present in any organism, okay, that will not be present forever in that particular organism. Okay, means what is the point here? What is suppose if energy is present or energy is trapped in that particular organism, no, that will not be remains forever. Not important, that will not be remains forever. So thereby what is the point we are learning? So definitely energy flows will be there from the one tropical level to another tropical level. This point NEET examination point of view important. No energy that is trapped into an organism remains in it forever. Okay, the energy trapped by the producers hence is either passed onto the consumers or the organism dies. Suppose here two ways are there. Suppose for example what they have taken, author has given example of producers. So means suppose here energy is trapped by the producers. So suppose when this energy is trapped by the producers, two ways are there. One is that energy must be transferred to the next tropical level. So for example consumers or that particular producers must die. So means two things. It can transfer its energy to the next tropical level, or suppose that particular producer dies means so that energy cannot go anywhere. Okay, so means if the two ways are there. Now continuationally what is the information? That the death of the organism is a beginning of the detritus of food chain. Once suppose here if any organism dies, so there definitely so that switch on to the switch on means beginning of the detritus of food chain. So detritus food chain always starts with the decomposers or the dead and decay matter of the plants as well as animals. That's we know very well. So thereby DFC D, F, C. So detritus food chain or the food web definitely starts with the dead organic matter or the dead organisms of both plants as well as animals. So thereby, what is the point here we can be taken? So all animals dependent on the or depend on the plants directly or indirectly. One more time, all animals depends on the plants. Depends on or depend on plants directly or indirectly for their food needs. For their food needs. So thereby here what is the point? So what are the organisms or what are the animals are there on the globe? All animals 100% directly or indirectly definitely depends on the producers for food needs. So that particular point also you try to save in your mind. Next one, they are hence called consumers. Means here, what are the organisms? What are the animals or what are the organisms or what are the animals depends on the producers or that depends on the plants. So such kind of organisms, so simply we will be calling as consumers or also known as heterotrophs. So this maximum this point we know very well. Heterotrophs or the consumers means what is the point now? Though these are all, so these are all organisms. So simply depends on the plants directly or indirectly. Right. Now if they feed on the producers, for example plants, they are known as primary consumers. Means organisms are there. Suppose these organisms are taking the food materials from the plants or the producers. So such kind of organisms simply we will be calling as primary consumers. Means primary consumers means what are the organisms? So what are the organisms that take the food materials from the producers? So all such kind of organisms, so simply we will be calling as primary consumers. Next one, and if the animals eat another animals which in turn eats the plants, means here what are the organisms so here what are the organisms eat the animals or what are the animals eat the another animals, means here these animals eating the plants, means what is the information? No, what are the animals eats the food materials or eat the producers, and these organisms or these animals food for another type of organisms. Okay, point you understood or not? Means here what are the organisms eat the another animals whose eat or which eat plants. So such particular animals we will be considering as secondary consumers. Means these secondary consumers simply will eat which one? Herbivores. Point you understood or not? Means secondary consumers definitely will eat the herbivores or primary consumers. So thereby here clue I have given one important clue, that is obviously primary consumers will be herbivores. One example also I have given. So once let us discuss that example. Suppose here GFC you take grazing food chain. So simply I have written grazing food chain there. So grasses are there. Grasses or grass is a producers. So grass eaten by the goat. So here this particular goat we can be taken as a primary consumer or herbivore. So now this goat eaten by the man. So this particular man we will be considering as a secondary consumer. So likewise once you move up into the information. So here the secondary consumers, what is information we have taken? If animals eat the another animals which in turn eat the plants. So that particular animal we can be taken as secondary consumers. So thereby some common herbivores are there. Some common herbivores are insects, birds and mammals in a terrestrial ecosystem. So in a terrestrial ecosystem, so some common herbivores examples they have given. So what are those? Insects are there, birds are there, and some mammals also are there are in terrestrial ecosystem. Next one, mollusk. So mollusc members are there. Now these mollusk members, so examples of where examples of herbivores in aquatic ecosystem. Don't forget. So molluscs or mollusk members are the best example of herbivores in aquatic ecosystem. So in a terrestrial ecosystem point of view, best examples of herbivores, insects, birds and mammals. Next one, molluscs are best examples of herbivores in aquatic ecosystem. Next one, the consumers. The consumers that feed on these herbivores are known as carnivores, or more correctly primary carnivores. Means here what are the consumers? So here the consumers that feed on the herbivores, means what are the consumers are taking the food materials from the herbivores. Okay, taking the food materials from the herbivores means here goat we have taken now. So means what are the consumers take the food materials from those or from the herbivores or such kind of organisms. Now we can be taken those as carnivores, or more correctly we can be termed it as primary carnivores. Once you see there, so here once you see there primary producers. So primary producers I have taken in first TL. TL is nothing but tropic level. I don't have gap here to write. So TL, first tropic level, primary producers. Next one, so from the producers to food materials or the energy moving to the primary consumers, later secondary consumers and later tertiary consumers. Now primary producers are there in a first tropic level, primary consumers are there in a second tropic level, secondary consumers are there in a third tropical level, and tertiary consumers are there at fourth tropical level. So here what is the point now we are learning? Now what are the consumers? What are the consumers? Feed on the herbivores. Means for example, once you see here goat eaten by the man. No, sorry, here this particular man now we can be considered as a carnivore, sir. Means yes. So this particular man now we can be considered according to this example. So man is the best example of carnivore. Okay, so this one only now we will be considering as primary carnivores. Okay, means primary carnivores are best example. Man or man here in this particular example occupied secondary consumer level. I hope you understood. Means here what are the organisms consume the or eat the herbivores. So such kind of organisms simply we will be considering as primary carnivores or secondary consumers. Once you see their secondary consumers, we will be calling by one more name, primary carnivores. So these are all important points. Try to remember clearly. Next one, those animals that depends on the primary carnivores. Primary carnivores, another name is, now only we have seen now, secondary consumers. Primary carnivores or secondary consumers. Now, so those organisms depends on this one. Primary consumers or primary carnivores or secondary consumers for their food is referred as secondary carnivores, or can you guess? Secondary carnivores now we can be taken as tertiary consumers. Am a point you understood or not? So primary carnivores we are calling by one more name, secondary consumers. Secondary carnivores we are calling by one more name, tertiary consumers. Okay, so this is somewhat information regarding which one, energy flow. Still this particular information to be explained, still somewhat information is there. So by explaining that information in tomorrow's class or in the next video class, I will give information regarding ecological pyramids. So my sincere request is while watching my video, try to maintain good quality, then only you can watch the videos very clearly. Otherwise, a few students they are asking, sir, what is the information you have written on the board that we are unable to get, sir? So here the solution I am giving to you. So try to maintain good quality, so then only you can watch my videos clearly. Thank you.